Yeah, I did change, and I'm really glad I changed.
This one's wife. Pants off, legs open. Hello, I'm HG Tudor. You may be familiar with the acronym POLO, said to stand for pants off, legs open, which of course is entirely apt when it comes to this one's wife, who, as a somatic narcissist, undoubtedly is engaged in such a practice for the purposes of the application of lashings of spicy poontang as part of the ensnarement of the ginger one. This one's wife has made an appearance at a choreographed polo match, and there's plenty for us to get our teeth into. So, if you want your polo fix today, you're going to get it. And we start with perhaps the foundation, whereby the Daily Mail has reported on the polo challenge with the headline, "This one's wife plants passionate kiss on Prince Harry, benign application of control, as she presents him with trophy after he won glamorous charity polo match in Miami, with Netflix cameras there to capture every minute of the action." As you know, we were treated to the recent announcement that some actual content is going to appear from the lazy, gruesome twosome. This one's wife is going to amaze you with cookery and gardening. I'd suggest that you watch my videos Cooking with the Queen and In the Lady Garden, but ensure that you're not drinking anything when you watch those. And Prince Harry's going to take us through the fascinating world of polo, which has to be one of the most boring sports you can ever watch. There's a reason why polo isn't televised. It's dull. Anyway, similarly, watch my video The Prince and Polo. You'll be hugely entertained. But in the meantime, Charlie Langston and Ben Ashford, who've been in Wellington, Florida, tell us this one's wife and Prince Harry enjoyed a very romantic celebratory kiss at a glitzy charity polo match in Miami on Friday, after the Duke stormed to victory in the tournament. Now, the rumour mill suggests that the opposing team were told to take it down a notch or two with regard to their competitiveness to ensure that the Prince of Pink Pancakes team won, making some good footage for the programme. Hardly a surprise. What you see on television is invariably stylised, edited and choreographed, and the sooner that people realise this, the better. Naturally, we wouldn't want to see the Ginger One having a huff on if his team didn't win, given his competitiveness, and therefore it would be somewhat believable that the other side were told basically let them win or don't try as hard. Anyway, this meant that Harry was victorious, and as a consequence of that, this one's wife, 42, was seen presenting her husband with a trophy at the end of the matchup before the pair puckered up for a kiss in front of waiting photographers. Of course it had to be her presenting the trophy. After all, she's well known for her presenting skills. She's well known for being a specialist in the presentation of polo trophies. You only have to have seen the footage from last year where she muscled in on a presentation trying to take the trophy away and ensuring she was front and centre, clapping like some eckied up seal. Quite hilarious watching her attempting to elbow her way in amidst all of the players. And we see it here again. In the trophy presentation, there are 4 polo players on the stage. Harry's one of them, 3 other gentlemen. Are their wives there? No. But of course, this one's wife has to ensure that she's involved, because as you know, as a narcissist, she cannot stand for the attention to be on anybody else, which includes her husband. She cannot stand for the cameras to be looking at anyone other than her. She cannot stand for others to be in the limelight. And therefore, it was arranged that she should be part of the presentation. No other wives, no other girlfriends involved, but of course, this one's wife, once again, gets herself at the centre of things. What she fails to realise, of course, is that the majority of people look on this and think, Jesus Christ, here she is again, seeking that attention, sucking up the fuel, wanting to ensure that all eyes are on her. She is pathetic. Very few people look and go, oh, look, isn't that lovely? People see it for what it is, an attention-seeking narcissist elbowing other people out of the way to ensure that she is the one that is seen by everybody. The puckering up for a kiss with Harry is simply facade management to try and tell the outside world, look at us, we have an idyllic marriage. And once again, look, he's won a trophy, but this one's wife actually wins the trophy because in her world, it's her trophy because Harry is an extension of her. All of this was recorded by Netflix for the undoubtedly dull program that's going to be thrust upon the world, and naturally, this one's wife loves nothing more than being filmed and photographed. The Mail report continues by explaining images showed a delightful but slightly tired-looking Harry celebrating with his teammates after the dynamic polo match, applauding his opponents before stepping up to accept his prize from his wife. The Duke of Sussex was beaming from ear to ear as his wife prepared to present him with the award, before the pair posed up with his teammates to celebrate their victory in the match, which saw Harry going head-to-head against his longtime pal Nacho Figueres. This one's wife, who was joined at the event by her close friend Serena Williams, more facade management, put on a stylish display as she and Harry arrived hand-in-hand at a glitzy charity polo match in Palm Beach, Miami, with a camera crew in tow, normal, as they prepared to start filming for their next Netflix special. The Duchess of Sussex, 42, embraced the beaming sunshine in an elegant white dress which featured a pleated skirt design, halter-neck top and a cutout at the waist, completing her look with sunglasses and a chain-strap shoulder bag. She dared to risk potential disaster by sporting a pair of towering heels on the grassy terrain, once again demonstrating how she doesn't dress for the circumstances or the occasion, but rather does so inappropriately. You may be familiar with the practice that's undergone by the supporters of the polo players, that they enter onto the pitch and put the divots back in where the horses have churned up the turf. And doing that in stilettos isn't practical at all. Of course, this one's wife isn't going to lower herself to such menial work as shoving divots back in. The hoi polloi and the pros cannot do all of that. But it demonstrates how she just doesn't have a clue. Turning up, bearing those linebacker shoulders once again, wearing high heels when flats would be more appropriate. She, of course, wants it to all be about her, whilst failing to do the appropriate and practical thing. The article tells us what Harry was wearing, not particularly interesting. The couple were seen striding out onto the field while surrounded by a crew of cameramen who captured their every move as they chatted with Harry's teammates. Harry and this one's wife pulled up at the Swish venue at around about 4:30 p.m. local time, with a film crew in tow shooting their every move, just as this one's wife would like it. The cameras continued to roll as they hopped out of their white SUV with Harry's Argentine polo player pal Nacho, and were led to the clubhouse by excited staff as the Duke prepared to go head-to-head in the charity match against the Argentine star. The dapper Duke appeared moments later on a terrace, where he was seen chatting with guests and posing for group photos. He looked the quintessential networker, shaking hands, smiling for photos. He looked in his element, one onlooker said. While Harry took to the field, this one's wife was kept company by her former tennis pro pal, Serena, who was seen sipping on a glass of champagne as they mingled with their fellow guests and friends. At one point, Serena and Harry enjoyed a warm hug as the prince checked in on the action away from the match, embracing like old friends, having grown close in the years since the Duke and Duchess began dating. Plenty of pictures provided of this one's wife as she once again barges in and takes over, ensuring that she is in the middle of everything, as is her wont. And naturally, it stands out a mile to anybody watching. Look at the attention seeker. She absolutely loves the fact that all the cameras are on her. She loves the fact that the photographs are being taken once again, this is her husband's event, and she should just allow him to receive the trophy from somebody meaningful rather than her, to enable him to enjoy the moment, but she can't. She is pathologically driven by that need to take proceedings over, so it always has to be about her. And of course, many people now recognise this in relation to her behaviour. They understand why she is as she is because of her narcissism. Let's dive below the line, because there are 7,300 comments on this particular article showing this one's wife stealing the limelight once again. Claire writes, meanwhile, in the real world, grocery prices are up 21% in 3 years. The inflation rate last month alone was 3.5%. D-Stuff responds, she's Eva Peron. I share my wealth with you by flaunting it. SoCal Nana from Los Angeles. I grew up riding horses. I can't remember seeing players' wives in 5-inch spike heels. On the other hand, her choice of footwear could actually aerate the soil. Gems. The cringe factor is off the scale. They make my toes curl. Shira. Me too. They're both so unlikable. Two big egos without an ounce of compassion for anyone else but themselves. Post Office 245. There is something about her that makes clothes worth thousands of dollars look cheap. Get Facts Straight replies, because she is cheap. JL John 51. I see most of these comments are about what this one's wife is wearing. My problem with this one's wife and Harry is that you never see them with their children. It is as if they don't even have children. Hillbilly Girl. It's their lives and maybe they're happy that way, but it is kind of sad to see her front and centre at pretty much every event. I like when men can go off, play their game, do their thing. It feels nice to play a supportive role. She appears to just take over. And it's even worse when you think about him being the only one most people knew. He is the draw, not her. Indeed, that's an individual with emotional empathy who is prepared to play a supportive role, being in the background, not needing to be front and centre. This one's wife always has to be front and centre because of her narcissism. Montana B. Lover. She tries hard, but as my dear mother used to say when I was growing up, you can't make a silk purse out of a sow's ear. She has no class. McGannas. At least she is consistent. She gets it consistently wrong. An American in Slough. Everyone knows you never wear heels to a polo match. Not her first time doing it either. Shira responds, she wears the wrong outfits on purpose. Look at me. Male boxer. They're desperately trying to convince the world that they are the perfect happy couple, and I don't buy it for 1 second. He's stuck, and he knows it. She knows she has him where she wants him. He has to play the dutiful husband. Nexus, he has alienated him from his family, his country, and his legacy. Not Impressed 80. It's a lovely outfit, just not on her, unfortunately. It's too square looking on her body, and it would have been better if the trouser part was full length. It's giving rectangle on cocktail sticks. Qatari. Those heels at a polo match. I just don't like the woman, I'll be honest. Everything she does seems to want to draw attention to herself and others. Unsurprisingly, plenty of scathing comments about this one's wife as she continues to demonstrate just how unlikable she is. She turns up at the polo, makes it all about her, but the actual reaction to it all is criticism. Lots of challenge fuel, because people see her for what she is, and she still doesn't get it. Well, there's plenty to analyse in relation to this polo appearance, so don't go anywhere. More on the way. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.